Good afternoon and welcome to our Renew Physical Therapy pregame show on Bay County TV. Jeff Doan and Mike Wasdala, glad to have you along. We're back at Dow Diamond, and man, what a treasure.
I'll tell you what, it is a real treat for us, Jeff, to broadcast here at Dow Diamond. Think how much fun these kids are going to have for 2 games tonight in a great double dip.
We walked out on the field for a few minutes, and you could just tell, talking to the dads, seeing the kids, just a different level of excitement and focus for today's game.
Well, you know, it's a Major League ballpark. It's pretty special. You know, the grass is nice, the batting boxes are really nice, the mound's going to be nice, a whole different way of doing things here at Dow Diamond, Jeff, and these kids will remember this for the rest of their lives. It's just a great night for the kids, the schools, the fans, moms and dads, and all the grandparents showing up.
Well, and the groundskeepers from each of the schools don't have to do any work to get their field prepared. But this matchup tonight, the visiting team, the All Saints Cougars, Coach Good in his first year is 11-5 on the season. He's got a young club, and he's really excited about where they are right now and where they're trending.
Yeah, you got a lot of young freshmen and sophomores getting a lot of playing time, so the future looks really bright for the Cougars. Going to be a good test against a pretty good sized Class B school in John Glenn. So, you know what? To get better, you got to beat the best, and John Glenn's been around a long time with a great coach.
Well, you got Schuler and Wetters. You got a great battery at pitcher-catcher, and Schuler can really bring the mail. Wetters, he's turned into a big, solid backstop.
Yeah, we have seen that young man mature over the last couple of years, Jeff. We like what he does on the football field, what he does on the basketball court. Now we're going to get an opportunity to see him on the baseball field. So the Cougars are young, but they're very good, and they'll give John Glenn a good test tonight.
Well, on the other hand, you got the John Glenn Bobcats with an almost new coach. COVID or non-COVID? Non-COVID, 40 years. With COVID, they say 39, but the gentleman has amassed over 900 victories. And Gwiz, try and help put in perspective what that means from a coaching standpoint.
I'll tell you what, just the longevity of being here, Jeff, all that time, 40 years, I'm going to call it 40 years, and to be that successful and that consistent over 40 years. Coach Hart has just done a fabulous job, and you know, there was times there might have been lean years, but he got those kids into the program, he made them better, got the young kids to stay in the program, and man, I take my hat off to anybody that can stay doing something like that in the same place for 40 years. That's pretty impressive.
Well, the abacus tells me that's about 23 wins a year, and when you figure there's years that you might only win 12, 15 games. There weren't many of those, and then on the higher end, they won 28 to 30 games.
Yep.
So, and just a great individual, and who knows how many more years he's going, but a rarefied air that he's in with that 900th victory.
He looked pretty spry when we talked to him down there earlier in the dugout, Jeff, and you know, he's got a passion for it. He loves what he does. He loves being around the kids, and when you're around the kids, that makes us old guys younger. He looks good, the Bobcats look good, and they're going to have another great year, and we're going to see a great game tonight.
Well, and he put at least 3 kids in college baseball this year from last year's team, so he just keeps putting out a great factory. And you and I, whenever we have a chance to sit in the cozy confines and broadcast the game, it's a treat for us as well.
It really is. We've got the best seat in the house. We're right behind home plate. Back in the day when Tommy Lasorda was alive, that's the booth he used to sit in. So we're going to have a great game tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. Always good to be back with you, and always good to be at Dow Diamond.
Well, and I think Tommy Lasorda is telling his grandkids, do you know that Jeff Doan and Mike Wasdala actually broadcast from the same spot that I watched? So, you know, I think in our own minds we're somewhat legends.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that out, because I was just about to say the same thing.
That about puts the wraps on our pregame show, sponsored by Renew Physical Therapy. Back with all the game action in just a moment on BCTV. Founded in 2011, Renew Physical Therapy has quickly become the Great Lakes Bay region's fastest-growing patient-centered physical therapy and rehabilitation specialists. With 16 locations to serve you, our friendly, highly qualified staff of physical, occupational, and massage therapists take great pride in offering one-on-one treatments through customized plans to help you achieve the best possible outcome for your health. Our offices accept most major insurances and are well-versed in navigating the complexities of insurance policies, ensuring you receive the coverage and benefits you deserve. Visit our website at renewpt.com to request your appointment today. Well, good afternoon and welcome back to Dow Diamond. Jeff Doan and Mike Wisdala, glad to have you along. We've got a ceremonial first pitch here and kind of a touching tribute to a great All Saints Cougar memory.
Yeah, Jeff, Don Eager Sr. Did a lot of baseball coaching and was a big fan of Bay City All Saints. He recently passed away in mid-January, and his wife, Carol, is going to throw out the first pitch. And catching the first pitch from Grandma will be Sawyer Eager, her grandson. So what a great honor.
Well, and we will watch as she has the windup and the pitch.
She's a hooker. She's a lefty.
Right down the tubes. And, you know, I go back with Mom and Pop Eager to when Derek and Donnie were playing. Mom and Dad were not only at every game he coached,
Yep.
Mom did the book for every game. They were in the bench, and they have just really lived with a family passion for athletics. Those kids were raised, and now the grandkids are raised in that great athletic setting.
Yeah, they're kind of close to my heart, Jeff, because they are family relatives, cousins on my dad's side. So I've known Carol and Don and the family long time, and Derek, Don, and David are the three boys that they had. Just a great family, great kids, and what a very special moment.
All right, welcome back once again. As kind of a northeasterly breeze, I would say, looking at Old Glory, around 10 to 15 miles an hour. That is really going to knock down some fly balls, and really that is part of what the pregame here is, to figure out the condition in a stadium setting versus just a field that you play on. The travel of the ball is totally affected by the stadium.
Yeah, you saw them in pregame, Jeff. They're hitting a lot of fly balls out to the left fielder, center fielder, and right fielder. So it's 332 down the line and left, 375 to the gap. So it's going to take a lot to get one out of here. Pretty expansive outfield here at Dow Diamond. You got 325 down the right, 373 in the gap, and man, 400 straight away. So, but it was a nice breeze. That's a good-sized flag blowing out there in left field.
Well, and again, we were talking on our way in about you being able to get tickets for the first game ever here, and our opportunity to come and check out this field. And when they built this stadium, they really spared no expense to do it upright. It's got the coziness of a minor league stadium and the look and feel of a big league park.
Yeah, it really has. It's changed a lot since that first game we came to back a long time ago, Jeff. I remember it well. It was like 40 degrees out, wind was blowing, but man, it was packed. New scoreboard, you know, they got the play area for the kids down the right field line. They got the fire pit out in left field. The suites have changed. They've got more stuff for group outings and things like that. So really this, when you think about it, you think about the Great Lakes Loons and the Saginaw Spirit right in our backyard. Great family entertainment for a really great price too, Jeff. So this is pretty cool.
We're blessed in the Tri-City area.
We are.
The Spirit took a real tough one last night. They were down 4-3 and ended up giving up 3 late goals, and so they're down 3-1 in their series in the conference finals. But what a great opportunity here, and we're ready to go with our first pitch of the game. It's the windup and the pitch right down the middle, as the batter is number 12, Mr. Wetters, as he is going to be the back half of the battery today. And he takes kind of a half swing at a ball that was down, and anticipated heat, got something off speed and was out in front of it. So 0-2 the count here, and the first batter in the top of the first inning.
You look at the starting pitcher for the Bobcats, Jeff. That's Brene, number 2. He is a big fella out there on the mound, so he looks like he's doing about 6'2" or 6'3".
Whenever you've got that big long stride to home plate, feels like you're halfway there when you release the ball, but tried to maybe overthrow that last pitch, and it sailed outside. Wetters has kind of worked himself back into a 2-2 hitters count here.
Good patience by Wetters. And that one was a curveball, blew it right by Wetters, and that's the first strikeout for Brene. Out number 1 here at Dow Diamond. Up next for the Cougars is number 3, Schuler, for the Bay City All Saints Cougars.
So you've got Wetters striking out on a ball. Obviously, with 2 strikes, you got to protect against the fastball, and that off-speed pitch really ate him up, and he'll put that in the memory bank and be ready to go the next time he's up. Now this batter right now, Schuler, being the pitcher, he is going to be a lot of fun. I think we're going to have a great competitive pitching matchup between these 2 fireballers today.
I think we're seeing the top 2 pitchers on both squads, and that one goes out of bounds into the bullpen down the right field. If you remember back when we were thinking the same thing I was, the young man from the Standish Sterling Central Panthers made a catch down there that made it to the top 10 on ESPN.
Number 5.
Number 5.
That was thanks to our producer and director extraordinaire, Nick Page. He sent that out, and they were awful happy to pick that up. And the young man caught the ball, went head first into the ground, and held on to the ball. And it was just a thing of beauty, as that is our BCTV flashback here from Dow Diamond. Here's the pitch, a beautiful shot right straight to our third baseman.
Right to number 27, Morrison, for the Bobcats, Jeff. A hard hit ball, but he didn't have to move. All he had to do was put his glove up, protect himself. Out number 2 for the Bay City All Saints Cougars.
All right, Pease, the center fielder, is our third hitter. And again, when you hit a ball that hard, all you can ask to square it up.
Yep.
If it ends up going right at somebody, you've just known you've squared it up, and you keep squaring it up, and you'll find holes.
Yeah, that felt good coming off the bat for Schuler, Jeff. He liked to, it was hard hit and right at somebody, but he's going to get another opportunity. A little soft, almost like a bunt, but out number 3 for the Bobcats.
Well, and that is the end of the top of the first inning. And 3 up and 3 down, no score, as the Bobcats will be back up to bat right after this on BCTV.
For over 75 years, Frank's Great Outdoors has served as the Great Lakes Bay region's premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor shopping destination. What started in the mid-1940s as a roadside bait and tackle stand has now blossomed into a 30,000 square foot outdoorsman's dream shopping location. Stop by the store located at 1212 North Huron Road in Linwood, or shop online at franksgreatoutdoors.com to find everything you need to get your next outdoor adventure started.
Back here on BCTV, as the bottom of the first inning is number 15, and that's Hilborn, the left fielder. And he's going to go against the ace of the All Saints pitching staff. And they're asking, did he swing? Oh, they're waiting. This ain't like the biggies. You got to get special dispensation from the home plate.
You took the words right out of my mouth again, brother. Special dispensation. Catcher wanted it, but the umpire couldn't do it.
Wetters, nice. Look at that. Just absolutely paints the outside black of the plate.
He placed that pretty good, didn't Wetters? Huh?
Well, and the thing is about Wetters, too, is when you line up and that ball hits your glove without moving it, you are going to get 9 out of 10 of those calls from the home plate umpire.
1 ball, 2 strikes on number 15, Hilborn, the left fielder for the Bobcats. Oh, inside pitch called strike 3 for Schuler of the Bay City All Saints.
Well,
Cougars.
Love that pitch because Hilborn was kind of lean and expected something on the outside part of the plate, so he really had no opportunity to pull his hands in and get that inside pitch. And again, painting the corners early on for Schuler.
Well, Schuler's got some heat on that baseball. They used to have the mile per
They got
hour.
81
they do.
up there,
They got
yeah.
81. It's a little smaller than it used to be, but
No, it isn't. It's the same size, just
oh, is
harder
it?
for us to see.
That's what it is.
We knew it had to be something.
Well, I had that wire in my way. I
That's
couldn't
it.
see
Good,
it.
good comeback, brother. 2-0 to count. Nice pitch. Again, staying out of the middle of the plate, Schuler early on, really picking his spots and having great control.
Got nice looking pitcher, Jeff. Got nice form. There's another one on the outside of the plate, making it 2-2 for Schuler in here in the bottom of the first.
And you know, with Beeson right now, he probably states that those two pitches might have been a couple inches outside. This is the learning part of the game. As a hitter, you have to understand this is the strike zone the umpire is going to use. If that ball's hittable, you better get the bat off the shoulder and let it fly, as it'll be ball 4. And the first base runner of the game goes to Beeson from the Bobcats.
Good job by Beeson right there, Jeff, at the plate. Took the last two pitches. Looked close, but knew they were balls. So he gets a free pass. He's on first base. Up number 8, Richardson, for the John Glenn Bobcats.
Richardson with that southpaw stroke. Ball just down in the dirt, and Weathers just gobbles that up and makes it look easy and routine.
Richardson goes by Eli Richardson, number 8, the right fielder for the John Glenn Bobcats.
So that pitch right at the top of the zone, and like the calls in the first inning from our home plate umpire, swing the bat. That's what he's trying to tell the kids. If it's hittable, you better be whacking.
There goes the runner.
And a little hit and run. Two-hopper that goes over to Williams at second base. Another one of those sensational sophomores. And he goes down. It was soft enough hit. He wanted to make sure that his body blocked it. He had time to get up and have a nice soft toss to first base over to Andrzejewski. And it is 2 down with a runner now in scoring position for the Bobcats.
Bo Williams, we saw a lot of him on the football field and the basketball court, doing a nice job at second base for the Cougars. Up now for the Bobcats is number 9, McKenzie.
Boy, very generous outside corner, but again, consistent outside corner from our home plate umpire. Love to see it.
Ben McKenzie is the batter. 1 strike for Schuler. Just on the outside.
Look at Weathers catches that ball, and he's learning how to pull that thing back in.
He's done this before.
Well, again, a great young man, a great athlete, and part of this young and experienced fun team. Look at Coach Hart down there studying the path and the bases. And McKenzie goes, wow, he says, no, it's been there every single pitch.
Yeah, the umpire's being consistent. 1 ball, 2 strikes for McKenzie. Lined up in the pitch.
And high heat, and boy, that is all she wrote. Leaving a runner on second base at the end of the first inning. No score between the All Saints Cougars and the John Glenn Bobcats. Back for the top of the second in just a moment on BCTV.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
Good afternoon and welcome back. Top of the second inning here at Dow Diamond. Jeff Doan and Mike Wasdala. Pleased to have you along with us. Nick Page producing, directing, filming. He's doing the trifecta out in the elements right now while we're sitting here in the climate-controlled booth at Dow Diamond.
It's not too bad out there. We've had him out there in worse weather than we got tonight.
He has certainly been in a lot worse as the first pitch is down low.
Essex, the third baseman for the Bay City All Saints Cougars. No score here in the top of the 8th. All Saints. Essex, the batter, fouled off to the back of the screen.
Boy, waited patiently till the last second. Looked like he was trying to send that thing to the opposite field, and he's been defense playing pretty straight up, so no big hole over there on the opposite side as the 1-1 pitch. What a great job pulling the string and way out in front of that pitch.
You're beating me to the punch. I was going to say the same thing. I might as well just go home.
Oh, if we're on the same page, that's a great pitch painting the corner again for strike 3.
That was a very nice pitch. And out number 1 here in the top of the second. Up for the Cougars is the second baseman, number 2, Bo Williams.
So again, Bo, one of those great sophomores, and boy, what a great group of sophomore class. And these kids got a ton of valuable experience as freshmen on the varsity last year. As Williams looks like he's finally starting to fill out a little bit. He had that wiry frame. He was fast before, but looks like the young man's hitting the weight room now and trying to add a little girth.
Yeah, they have definitely gotten bigger in the last year, Jeff. There's no doubt about that.
There's a nice little soft one hopper to the shortstop. And that is Beeson with a great toss across the diamond. And he sends that over to McKenzie for out number 2.
You know what I liked about that? You know, it was a hard hit ball, Jeff. Beeson was getting his feet ready right when the ball was hit. He knew it was coming. He had great footwork, took his time, rifled it over to McKenzie at first base. So that young man has been playing some baseball and he's been coached. What a great job by him.
Young Mr. Eager now, the shortstop, is the next hitter. And he takes that first pitch, and he wanted to see one first, and either that or he might have been looking off speed, and the fastball came, and he decided just to let her go. But another one of the great young Cougars.
Sawyer's only a freshman, playing shortstop for the Cougars.
And again,
let's see the feet.
Beeson to McKenzie. That just is automatic here, and that is another quick inning for the All Saints Cougars as they go down 1-2-3 on to the bottom of the second inning. Back in a moment on BCTV. So your car is getting towed and you're not sure where to take it? Try Village Towing and Auto Repair. Our expert mechanics are here to help assist you with all your repair needs. We have over 30 years of experience with motor vehicles, so you know you're getting the best work that you can find. Stop by the shop at 2377 South Huron Road in Cuckolin, or give us a call at 989-684-9607. Back here on Bay County TV as we'll have an opportunity to thank a couple of our great sponsors.
Let's do it, Jeff. How about our friends from Renew Physical Therapy, Village Towing, Frank's Great Outdoors, and our good friends from the All Saints Booster Clubs. Thanks for your support for getting us a Dow Diamond and doing this game tonight.
All right, our first batter is going to be the catcher from the Bobcats.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was Brene going up there. I saw a 2. Let's see.
Has a pitch right down the middle, maybe just a little bit low. And it does look like Brene. Yep. So the big pitcher. So we got to check on the number of our catcher, but Brene getting a solid whack.
2 balls, 2 strikes for Brene.
Boy, he went after some high heat, and the cheese just kind of blew him away. So Schuler's in a really nice groove also to start this game.
That was an 82-mile-per-hour fastball by Schuler, a little bit up in the strike zone, strikes out Brene. Up now the center fielder for the John Glenn Bobcats, that's number 12, Nick Naylor. A little bit high on that first pitch from Schuler.
Well, Schuler's had success in the top part of the zone, so you know, you change the eye level with that first pitch. Now let's see. He tries to go down, boy, right down the middle. And, boy, Naylor says, boy, I had a good, juicy pitch to hit and just got underneath it.
Fouled it off on the roof here at Dow Diamond. That one's a little bit outside. Make it 2 balls, 1 strike on Naylor. No score, Jeff, here in the bottom of the second. It's All Saints Cougars taking on the John Glenn Bobcats.
Just again a little bit low and outside, but He's had success on that outside corner, so you might as well keep plucking away. 3 balls, 1 strike and 1 out. As that ball's hit right down the line into left field, and it is picked up by Paul and holding the base runner at first base. So nice job as that ball got through the infield and got past Essex. What a great job by Paul to get into the corner and pick that up to hold the runner to a single.
That one just hugged the inside the third baseline right there, Jeff, for a good single by Naylor. Up now is Chiklinski, the catcher for the John Glenn Bobcats.
That's a throw to first, but you get more than 2 in high school, so it isn't like in the pro game where after 2 they can be off and running because you know they're not coming back over. As Chiklinski as the runner going, he got a huge
job. He did.
And boy, he steals that thing easily.
Naylor was halfway to second. He walked halfway to second and stole second base very easily for the John Glenn Bobcats. Nobody out, or 1 out for the Bobcats. Naylor on second base.
Well, and when you're in a situation where you are Jeff Hart, center fielder, you are quite certain as time is called, as Coach Good's going to go out on the field, you know he's going to be able to pick him up and put him down.
So Coach Hart's going to talk to Chiklinski, and Coach Good's going to talk to Schuler. They're going to get their ducks in a row with a man on second, 1 out, and kind of have a chat, calm down, everything's good. You got some good things going on. You're pitching good. You're hitting a little bit of the black on the plate. So keep an eye on that guy on second base, but let's worry about the guy at the plate also.
I think when you get a mound visit this early in the game, I think Coach Good saw just a little mechanical glitch that he wanted to go out there and remind him. Maybe, you know, it's not following through or not hitting the same spot as he's coming down. And we're going to find out right now with this 2-0 count what kind of pitch Chiklinski's going to get. And he knew he was going to get something good, and he barreled it up, but he just got underneath it and fouled it back to the screen.
2 balls, 1 strike on Chiklinski. Schuler, the pitcher for the Cougars, comes a windup in the pitch.
Boy, and I think maybe Coach Good's out there saying, you're missing with your secondary pitch. If you don't have great feel for it, you've got great feel for the fastball. Let's set this up with the fastball and see if they can hit it. It's 3 straight.
Nice job.
And what a great job by the right fielder. And he is going to be in a position at home plate, and Wetters can't get it. Whenever you're in the outfield and you throw to home plate, you know a heads-up base runner is going to be able to head from first to second base. And the right fielder just got under that throw a little bit, and it was a step up the line. Otherwise, it might have been a close play at the plate.
Well, and Chiklinski did a great job putting that into the where the second baseman wasn't, because he was going over to cover second base. So he put it in the right spot, and the Bobcats score 1-0. The Bobcats are up over the base of the All Saints Cougars.
Got number 1 in there with a pinch run right now, as they're going to be able to utilize him in this inning, and Debo up to bat.
That's a familiar name heading around
these parts.
Braden Debo. We all know that Debo family.
There's a great pitch from Schuler again, as the Bobcats get on the board 1-0 with another runner in scoring position at second base. Boy, generous strike on the outside corner, and
Mr.
Debo
that
set the silent protest.
Yeah, that was the silent protest. That was a good one too.
Well, and again, you got to give Wetters credit. He's framing those pitches out there and stepping off the mound. Maybe thought the pinch runner was getting a little bit too big an advantage, but All Saints doing a great job trying to hold that runner close to the base they're on.
I'm watching Jeff Hart working overtime down there as a third base coach, Jeff. He is chirping with his runner, and he's not even looking at the pitcher or the batter. He's looking at his base runner, and they're going to know exactly what's going to happen and if this ball gets into the base hit.
Look at the angle that he gets. He's, after 40 years, he's kind of got this part of the game figured out, too. And on the outside, and a nice pitch that time by Schuler, and had Debo just leaning and thinking. Debo's like, I'm really not going to be able to get good metal on that anyway. I might as well let it go by, and it was just enough outside. He lives for another pitch, 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out, and the runner on second base. Coming right down the middle.
Wynn's going to catch that.
It's going to push it right out of play.
Boy, that started at the first base coach's box right there, Jeff, and went right out of into the stands. I took that a long ways.
That really did push probably 30 feet. It got so high in the air, and that northerly breeze just put it right into the bullpen area where they're doing a little filming today. As living for another pitch is Debo.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
And strike 3, and he's going to walk back maybe mumbling to himself just a tad bit. But you got to say, hey, great consistency with our umpire behind the plate.
And Schuler's been putting it right there all game so far, Jeff. And the umpire gets some new balls.
A couple that went out of play, and this isn't Coryell Field. I don't think you get a free bag of popcorn when you bring it back. When they did a foul ball, that would be like 12 seagulls going after 1 French fry to get that ball for a free popcorn.
Avery Morrison, the third baseman for the Bobcats, up. Ball 1 on Avery. 2 outs here in the top of the
bottom of the second.
Of the second, excuse me, for the Bobcats.
As Avery is looking to put something in play, Wetters could not quite stifle that ball in the dirt. Schuler does a nice job of kind of meandering to home plate to make sure that we're not rounding third too strong. And Wetters probably a little frustrated, but that was a tough one to pick up as he had to try and slide his body and go to the backhand to stuff it. So good hitters count 2-0. As Morrison takes one right down the middle. Looked like he had no intent to swing at that one.
Nice pitch again on the outside part of the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike on Avery Morrison. Schuler kicks and deals. Strike number 2 right down the middle.
He threw that 82-mile-an-hour fastball right by him. And the sun kind of peeking out for a second. I thought it was a little John Denver sunshine on my shoulders as that ball is right on the outside corner for strike number 3. So Schuler does a great job of limiting the damage. The Bobcats get the first run on the board, and after 2 innings, lead 1-0. Back for the top of the third in a moment on BCTV.
Are you ready to gear up and stand out? Look no further than Sandlot, your local destination for custom screen printing, embroidery, and promotional goods in the Great Lakes Bay region. With not 1, not 2, but 3 convenient locations right here in the heart of the Great Lakes Bay region, we're your MVP when it comes to branded gear that hits the mark. For over 15 years, we've believed in community, in delivering top-tier quality, and in making your brand shine brighter than ever. And guess what? We're not just about sports. From schools to clubs, from businesses to community events, we're your one-stop shop for custom apparel that makes a statement. So if you're ready to elevate your brand, to make an impact, and to fuel your passion, choose Sandlot. Visit us today at one of our 3 unbeatable locations in the Great Lakes Bay region, or check us out online at sandlotsports301.com. Sandlot, where quality, community, and apparel collide. Your brand, our passion.
Back here on BCTV is we're looking at the dyslexic 900 on the side to honor Coach Hart and the 900 wins. You got your abacus out, Coach. In pregame, I did a little abacus in the head. I said it was about 23
You were off.
wins a year.
You were off.
By what?
By 7/10.
By not
23.07 wins per year over 39.
So 7/100, not 7/10.
Not 7/10.
Well, you know, the
7/100.
abacus doesn't do hundreds.
Right, and I don't have an iPhone, so.
But you know, that is an extremely impressive.
It's incredible.
When you can think over all those years to average 23 wins. has a great start to the top of the third inning as our batter is number 1. He is going to be the DH. And that is Johnson.
That one's going to get out of play down the right field line over in that beautifully mowed territory where you can bring your lawn chairs for a Loons game, Jeff.
And look at the
there.
kids, man. There's kids on the playscape that are coming. They're going to dive for it. They're going to cut each other's legs out. The young man's going to get to throw this one right back in. And, hold on. We got a game going on here. As that one's down in the dirt, but an easy job by Chiklinski as he sends it down to McKenzie at first base for the first out of the third.
Nice job by the young man getting it back in. You know, Jeff, down the right field line, the playground area, you got those Adirondack chairs. That's a really nice place to sit down and watch a game also.
Well, and those things are just first come, first serve.
Right.
Those are not in the reserved seat area, but again, when you look at this complex and the kid-friendly zone where if you've got kids, you can kind of just watch the game from deep down the third base or the first base line and keep an eye on the kids and watch the game at the same time. Because if the kids are happy and entertained, that gives mom and dad just a little better chance to enjoy themselves as well.
Absolutely. Up for the Cougars, number 11, Andrzejewski.
Is 2-0 as he's worked into a very favorable hitter's count. Just gets sawed off on an inside fastball. Couldn't get the hands in quick enough to turn that thing down the line, but still at 2 balls and 1 strike. A very nice opportunity to get a good pitch to hit. Ooh.
He pulled the string on that one. That one came in, Jeff, at 66 miles an hour, but a little change up right there by Brené. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Boy, when you go from 81 to 66, you really have changed things. And another great pitch again, froze Andrzejewski on the inside corner.
Man, these pitchers, they really know how to get it on the inside and outside part of the plate. That was a great pitch right there by Brené. Make it out number 2 for the Cougars. Up number 7 for Bay City All Saints is Akins.
And you know, as a pitcher too, you got to understand where the umpire is allowing you corners, and you take advantage of that. And I think both pitchers have done a great job of understanding the strike zone and utilizing it to their advantage.
Well, and the coaches are seeing this too, Jeff, and they're telling their players, look, this is the way they're calling it. And you know it's coming, take advantage of it. And it's like in basketball and football. Referees have tendencies. Basketball officials, some of them are a little bit more physical than others. And so you just got to adjust to the game of the officials, all part of the game.
Akins got 2 strikes on him again, and what an absolute great job by Brené. He's pulling the string and really keeping the Cougar batters off balance at the into the top half of the third inning. It's 1-0. John Glenn back in a moment for the bottom of the third on BCTV.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
All right, back here for the bottom of the third inning, right back to the top of the Bobcat order with number 15 at bat, and that is Hilborn, the left fielder. Ball just a little bit low from Schuler. As Hilborn is another one of those outfielders that really is a fluid strider. And there's that pitch that has been the consistent all game long strike.
1 ball, 1 strike on the center fielder for the Bobcats, Garrett Hilborn. Schuler would wind up in the pitch just a bit outside.
Yes, our old pal had that call down pat. Has right down the middle, and what a nice lazy line drive into left field. as the left fielder Hilborn starts off that bottom of the third with a solid base hit.
Good solid hit, like you said, Jeff. Up now for the John Glenn Bobcats is number 3, Colton Beeson.
And again, this is the second time around seeing Schuler, so we'll see if there's an advantage to hitter or pitcher the second time around.
Ball 1 to Beeson. 2 outs here in the top of the third.
I look for Hilborn to maybe be on the move here as Schuler's keeping that ball away from the batter, and by doing that, you're really giving Wetters on an outside pitch a chance to get into it and stride to second. So we'll find out if Naylor fakes that he's going, and 2 balls and 1 strike as he got a good cut at a fastball that came in at 78 miles an hour.
You know, you and I talked during one of the breaks, Jeff. This type of game, we're talking maybe 2-1, 3-2 type of situation with these 2 great pitchers for both squads. So, every advantage of getting an extra base is vital with a game like this. There he goes.
And there's a throw down by Wetters, and it skips over the top of Eager's glove, but very nice job by Pease in center field to back up, which is when that ball is thrown, you should have all 3 of your outfielders on the move somewhere backing something up, and they just keep from getting the extra base.
Such a great vantage point out here, Jeff. Both the left fielder and right fielder were coming in along with the center field for the Cougars. Thinking about playing a little small ball right there was Coach Hart.
Well, and I think with given a favorable count, he was trying to throw Pease off or just a little bit, or Schuler.
Yep.
And so now with 2 runners aboard and 2 outs, I think we might have McKenzie right now.
Looks like number 8, Eli Richardson for the Bobcats, the right fielder for John Glenn. 2 outs. Man on first and second for John Glenn. They've got the lead, 1-0 here in the top of the third.
So the Cougars really doing what they can to keep those base runners close. As a little foul tip on that first pitch, as Schuler threw another one. Now he's consistently in that 78 to 81 mile an hour range, and when you can throw strikes and vary your speeds, and a great pitch that time. Richardson thought about dropping down the bunt, but that ball was right down the middle, and now in an 0-2 count, as I don't think the runners will be moving, and Richardson steps out for a second and allows Schuler to reset. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. On the outside, Wetters does a nice job of scampering to the outside and gobbling that up. As it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, I think Schuler wanted that ball outside, maybe overthrew it or aimed it a little bit.
I think you're right, Jeff. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Richardson for the Bobcats. Schuler kicks and deals. There's another one out of play. Over to the Adirondack sheets.
Nick Page caught one of the spectators with a one-hopper off the bleachers, making a great grab. And
got to get that back in real quick.
Going back to our activities, as there is a high foul fly ball that might go over the top.
Right over. We got one up here one year, if you remember correctly.
Yeah, we do have a ball that got back into our neighborhood, and it's a souvenir.
Somebody still has it. We signed it, didn't we?
Yes, we did. So it's worth a lot of money to whoever's got it. The 2-strike pitch again, just a little bit low. Nice job that time as Richardson has worked himself back into a 2-ball and 2-strike count with that 73 mile an hour curveball. Let's see if he decides to come back with a little 79 or 80 mile an hour cheese. Right down the middle, chest high, and that is out number 2.
It's been out number 2 out there, so it's got to be out number 2 right now because it was out. It's been out number 2 up there on the scoreboard for a while. So my mistake. I thought there was only 1 out, and then now we have 2 outs. Coach Hart's going to have a nice chat with
McKenzie.
With McKenzie. This is a big bat right here for McKenzie. And Coach Hart just said, "Hey, take your time, find what you like, and let's get it into play. Let's get that next run in."
Well, McKenzie, another one of those multi-year players on the varsity, and just another great young man. On the outside, another great strike. You're almost, if you see that coming, you're almost going to have to take it the opposite way. It'll be really, if you try and turn that over, it'll be a 2-hopper to the shortstop. No balls and 1 strike.
He tried there.
Yep.
That's exactly what he tried to do, Jeff. Good point. It was on the outside corner, and he went out to get it, tried taking it to right field. That would have probably scored an extra run, but nice job by number 9, McKenzie.
So you've had 2 balls in a row, both strikes thrown to the outside corner. Do you come inside at the waist right now and try and get him leaning over the plate? Nope, he stays out on the outside third of the plate. McKenzie gets a little chunk of it.
That stung McKenzie. I don't know what it hit, but boy, his hand it stung. He was shaking. Oh, yeah, he was shaking his hand and said, "Ooh, that was a stinger."
So 2 on and 2 out. And McKenzie doing a great job of spoiling a great Schuler pitch.
Now the scoreboard says 1 out, Jeff. So is there 2 outs? I thought there was 2 outs, but it says 1. We'll see what happens here. No balls, 2 strikes on McKenzie. Good at bat for the young man. Double steal.
And strike 3. So they must have erased the 2 after they forgot to do it from the last inning. So.
Yeah, I think you're right.
All right, for the 3rd time, Mike, there's 2 outs.
I can see that. So now there's 2 outs. Men on 2nd and 3rd for the Bobcats.
For Brene. And a great pitch from Schuler. This is a huge at-bat in this game right now as the All Saints Cougars trying to keep it close. And at the same time, the Bobcats realize they're a base hit away from going up 3-0.
That's in the gap.
That ball is hit over the head of the right fielder, Akins, and sliding around second base. He's just going to cruise into second base with a stand-up double. And that ball really took off to right field.
Man, that thing was tattooed. It made it all the way to the wall. The right fielder for the Cougars, Akins, he had a long ways to run, and that was way over his head. Brene with a nice job by hitting the baseball. Oh, that was.
And again, when I watch Akins on this play, his first stride was kind of sideways before he went back. And again, the backdrop is totally different than what you're used to, but after a step sideways, he really got on his horse because he knew that ball was tattooed.
Yeah, it was hit hard, Jeff.
So another great strike on the outside third.
Gives the Bobcats the lead here in the bottom of the 3rd. They picked up 2 runs, making it 3-0 over the Bay City All Saints Cougars.
By Schuler again, staying outside, really making it tough on the hitters to make contact with that ball.
But you can see they've kind of adjusted to that outside pitch by Schuler, Jeff. McKenzie did a nice job going out and reaching out there and getting the ball. And
it's nice when it's pitched that way and you hit it that way.
Yep.
That's where you're going to really get that spin on the ball and have it take off. And as a right-handed batter, that's going to go away from that right fielder.
It's like my golf swing last night.
Whew. That's right. The season started last night for you guys.
It did. It was a beautiful night. A little bit windy coming out of the southwest, but I was happy. Shot a 47, so I was happy with that. Good way to start. First night out.
Is the 2-ball and 2-strike count right back up the middle. And the Bobcats are going to end up with another run. And not able to cut that ball off was Andrzejewski, but Wetters did a nice job alerting himself to the fact that Naylor might be heading to second, but he stayed put, and boy, I think Schuler right now just got a Remington shave there.
It's almost like you got a mohawk. He ducked out of the way. That was another hard hit ball by the Bobcats. Number 12, Naylor, making the score here in the bottom of the third at Dow Diamond. Bay City John Glenn 4 and Bay City All Saints 0.
Schuler's out there talking with Wetters right now, and he's like, oh boy. He goes, time to refocus right now. That thing just came by and almost said Wilson on your forehead as he was just able to get that thing out of the way. And 4-0 as so far 3 runs in this inning as the Bobcats have erupted.
Yeah, that thing comes at you quick off those special bats.
As the batter is number 4.
Chiklinski.
Catcher. It just kind of rolls off your tongue,
it does.
Coach.
I went to school with some of the Chiklinskis.
And then going back to first base, a nice job that time. Naylor recognizing it just in time, but I like the fact that Wetters keeps them active, and I don't know if Andrzejewski gets a tap of the hat or something to know that that's coming, but he was back there, did a very good job of making that close at first.
Trenton Chiklinski with a strike, 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Bobcats up 4-0.
Boy, and there is another steal of second base and another great job by Pease in center field to make certain that there's no further advancement, but the Bobcats are running out a pretty good catcher right now, and that really says something about their team speed and confidence.
Yeah. Coach Hart's hitting all the dials tonight, Jeff, with good hitting, good base running, good base stealing by the Bobcats. Hitting field was drawn in just past Eager of the Bay City All Saints Cougars. Chiklinski's going to go to second base on the throw in.
He didn't even stop.
No, and another score, making it the Bobcats 5 and the Cougars 0. And another, like you said, he saw what the pitcher was going to do. He turned to first base and just went right down to second. We're going to have a pitch runner.
Well, Jeff Hart did not even think for a split second, and it's easy with 2 outs and up 4-0, being able to say, let's roll the dice. But that ball from the outfield has got to be a little bit lower where it can be cut off if it has to be to keep that runner at first base or have a chance to get him at second.
A little bit outside, pitch number 1 to Debo. Debo, the second baseman for the Bobcats. Braden Debo, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. And there is that pitch on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs here in an explosive 4-run third thus far for the John Glenn Bobcats. Just missed on the outside, and Schuler really wanted that one bad, but the outside corner's been generous, but you might as well keep inching it out and find out where that parameter lies. You might as well
find out where that's going to stop.
And he found out that that one was there, and that was not something. Mr. Debo's been the culprit of about 3 or 4 of those pitches, and he's like, man, I better go to right field with something if it's even in the neighborhood, because I'm having a tough time getting something I can really barrel up. So it is 3 balls and 2 strikes. As the runner on second base comes over and talks with Coach Hart for a second.
I think that's number 1 for the Bobcats, Jeff, and that is Gunnar Maisie, for the Bobcats, pinch runner for Chiklinski.
So he'll be on the move as soon as this pitch is thrown. And a foul ball.
Nice job by Debo right there, fighting that off on that outside corner.
Well, I'm telling you, if I'm Schuler right now, with as many pitches have gone in the outside corner, I'm coming right inside because I know he's thinking, I got to get a hold of that.
You say a little chin music?
I'm saying come to that inside third, and I think it'll saw him off. So we have a timeout as Debo backs out. And boy, the batters nowadays really crowd that inside of the box towards home plate and really work on getting their hands to the outside. Debo doing another job, almost the identical same spot as the last pitch. And he's out there making sure that he is not going to allow strike 3 to be called on the outside third.
Home plate umpire he's got a nice little arm on him throwing the ball back to Schuler. Had a little heat on that ball.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. As Debo trying to stay alive, and another ball hit very slowly. Eager picks it up, and an errant throw to first base, unable to be scooped up by Andrzejewski, and another run scored. That was going to be a hard play for Eager.
Yeah.
It was not hit very hard, and he had to pick it up and unload it in a hurry, and Andrzejewski just couldn't get the short hop at first base.
He did a nice job covering that territory, Jeff. And like you said, it wasn't hit very hard, so it was going to be a tough play. Got it over there. Unfortunately, they couldn't make the out. Another run by the Bobcats. That's 5 here in the bottom of the third, making the score John Glenn 6 and basically All Saints 0.
Well, just as you and I prognosticated, a very low-scoring 2-1, 3-2 type of ball game. The Bobcats.
Why
Coach
we're
Hart
up here?
goes, that's why you're sitting up there, Mr. Mr. Gustavo.
That's not why we're on Bet ESPN. I can tell you that.
And I got 900 plus wins. It's just.
It started out that way,
yes.
But that's the beautiful thing about the game of baseball. You get hot.
Well, and part of what I'm seeing now is that ball gets by Jack Wetters and on to second base goes the base runner. I give credit to the Bobcats because the second time through the rotation, they've seen Schuler throw. The batters have made that adjustment the second time around and have won the battle.
You go back to McKenzie's at bat. He was fouling it off, going after that outside pitch. They're getting used to it, and they're going to take advantage of it.
Again on the outside it is 3 balls and 1 strike with another runner at second base. Schuler really needs to get out of this inning for All Saints. That ball's just a little bit high, and that allows the base runner to head on over as Morrison goes to first base. And now batting next will be Hiltborn, as this will be the start of the third rotation.
Then we go around.
Coach Good, I think more than anything else, he realizes Schuler just needs a blow right now. I don't know if he needs a refocus, but they're talking right now, and
I think they're going to
make a change.
They're going to make a pitching change.
Why I think this is such a good move, Mike, is at this point, it's down 6-0. You have a pitch count for the week, and they're going to be able to save him for another game. And he's probably in 3 innings thrown around 50 pitches, so he'll have an opportunity to do more as Coach Good is going to make a couple of substitutions and changes. We'll take a quick break and be back in a moment on BCTV. Founded in 2011, Renew Physical Therapy has quickly become the Great Lakes Bay region's fastest-growing patient-centered physical therapy and rehabilitation specialists. With 16 locations to serve you, our friendly, highly qualified staff of physical, occupational, and massage therapists take great pride in offering one-on-one treatments through customized plans to help you achieve the best possible outcome for your health. Our offices accept most major insurances and are well-versed in navigating the complexities of insurance policies, ensuring you receive the coverage and benefits you deserve. Visit our website at renewpt.com to request your appointment today. Back here on Bay County TV is a whole lot of moving, shaking, and shimmying that's going on here for the All Saints Cougars. Andrzejewski comes in to pitch for the All Saints Cougars to try and get this last out of the bottom of the third. First pitch is a chest-high fastball.
So
and Hiltborn again up for the third time in 3 innings.
I think we went around the order in this inning, didn't we?
That is correct. Is that ball just a little bit high? 1 ball and 1 strike.
I think Eager, number 34, moved over to second base.
Yep. And
Well, Schuler went to shortstop.
yes. As there is a very high ball. Look at that wind playing havoc on that. Jack
Nice
Weathers
job.
would not give up on it. And that is the final out of the third inning. But the Bobcats put 5 on the board, and after 3, it's 6-0. John Glenn over All Saints back for the top of the fourth in a moment on BCTV.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Back here, the top of the fourth inning, Jeff Doan and Mike Wisdala, glad to have you along from beautiful Down Diamond as the John Glenn Bobcats put 5 on the board in the bottom of the third inning and take a 6-0 lead. As it's time now to have Wetters start off this top of the fourth inning, see if he can get some Cougar magic going offensively.
Schuler on deck for Bay City All Saints. First pitch of the inning was a ball to Jack Wetters. Ball number 2, 2-0 to Wetters here in the top of the fourth. Big inning, Jeff, for the Bobcats in the bottom of the third. They scored 5, making it 6-0 Bobcats over the Cougars.
Well, again, the Cougars really need to have an answer here at the top of the fourth inning. As
Got him.
Wetters gets hit right kind of between the shoulder blades, and on a young man like him, at least that's part of the meaty part of the body. And
He's a big fella.
it was only a 75-mile-an-hour pitch. I don't know too many of us that would be able to say anything worse than yowie as that thing
They
whacked
would have
us.
probably had to call the ambulance for us.
Just another mosquito bite for Mr. Wetters.
Did the right thing, though, Jeff. Turned away from it and got him right in the back. Good job. Nobody out for the Cougars. Man on first. Schuler at the plate.
That ball again a little bit low, as really working the bottom of the zone right now are the Bobcats here to start the fourth inning. Schuler again crowding that plate. Wetters dives back into first base.
On deck for Bay City All Saints is number 17, Pease.
Center fielder.
Center fielder for the Cougars. 1 ball, 1 strike on Schuler. Nobody out here in the top of the fourth.
Boy, I'll tell you, Schuler might have gone fishing a little bit high, but he saw a heater in the middle of the plate, and he was looking to do damage with it. On the outside, again, Schuler going to a 69-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch, so he's got about a 12 to 15-mile variance between his off-speed and his fastball, and that is impressive.
Close. That was close.
Wetters used the long hands to get back.
Bernay with the quick release over to first base. He's going to step off and think about it again.
Again, the sun peeks back out, and it sprinkled a little bit while we were out on the field as another throw to first base, but
we didn't melt.
All in all, it was. This is just a great, great temperature setting for the first part of May.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Oh, Schuler had a healthy rip at a good waist-high fastball and just couldn't connect. And Schuler's a good hitter, so that tells you Bernay's got just a little bit of life on that pitch. A little late life. As it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wetters at first looking to move. That ball hit at a perfect spot in the hole. And the Cougars have a little something going here with the first 2 runners in the top of the fourth on base, just like the doctor ordered for the Cougars.
Little seeing eye single right there for Mr. Schuler. Nobody out here in the top of the fourth for the Cougars. Schuler on first, Wetters on second at the plate. Number 17.
Center fielder Pease. So now you've got speed at the plate. And you've got 2 good athletic base runners on the base path. Let's see, Coach Good flashing a whole lot of signals down there.
I was watching him too.
He might have been dancing to the music down there for a second.
Looked like it for a bit.
So that
Nice
ball just
bunt.
deadened in front of the plate. Nice job by the catcher, Chklinski, to come out and make a great play. And that's a hard play for the catcher to make with the runner going down the first base path. He stayed as wide as he could, staying in the path to make that throwing lane very small.
Nice bunt, right? That thing just died in that beautiful dirt here at Dow Diamond. Good fundamental by the Bobcats. Second baseman covering first base, 1 out. Men on second and third for the Cougars.
And Essex is the batter.
Somebody's gonna. A fan from Caw Holland, Michigan, caught that one,
Oh,
Jeff.
Ernie, what a nice job. As you have got the index of geographic homage. And that ball is lost.
Did he get hit? I think he got hit too.
Are they going to have the runners go back?
Yeah, I think the Essex got hit, so the runners are going to have to go back. That's going to load them up. Essex at first, Schuler at second, Weathers at third with 1 out here in the top of the fourth.
And Bo Williams will be coming up. And I think what we've got here is Jeff Hart just wants to talk to his defense to say, if this situation occurs, this is what we're going to do. If we got an opportunity, there's an out. We're going to try and twist a double, but we got to make certain that we know everything that's going on defensively. As biggest deal is you've got to get an out somewhere if that ball is hit on the infield.
1 for sure, 2 if you can.
Yes. So we'll find out now as Williams has an opportunity to bring those Cougars back into play here, as the first 3 batters have all gotten on this inning for the Cougars. Williams with a foul tip, as just trying to dial in that first pitch, as Eager is on deck awaiting an opportunity with a whole lot of ducks on
They're
the pond.
rebooting the scoreboard right now, but what a great opportunity here for Bay City All Saints with the bases loaded and 1 out.
Williams has that ball kind of fooled on the pitch, kind of a half swing, and it goes down the right field line. So 2-strike count on Mr. Williams. Lined up in the pitch from Grenay is on the outside corner. It's been a strike all day long and continues to be.
Be the second out of the inning for the Cougars, still loaded up, 6-0 Bobcats here in the top of the fourth. Sawyer Eager, number 34, their freshman shortstop, up for the Bay City All Saints Cougars. Jeff, talked to Greg Wagner last night, the girls softball coach for All Saints. They're over in Carsonville, Port Sanilac right now playing the game. And nice conversation with him at the end of golf.
That girls program been resurrected. It was gone for a couple of years, and so great to see that great tradition back with softball at All Saints. Of course, the longtime coach we talked about earlier, Brad Walraven, really did a great job over time. There's Eager at third, and they're going to have an out at third base on a bang play as Sawyer Eager made a bid to put the Cougars on the board, but the Bobcat defense comes up with a big one when they needed it. At the end of 3.5, it's 6-0. John Glenn over the Cougars. Back in a moment for the bottom of the fourth on BCTV.
For over 75 years, Frank's Great Outdoors has served as the Great Lakes Bay region's premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor shopping destination. What started in the mid-1940s as a roadside bait and tackle stand has now blossomed into a 30,000 square foot outdoorsman's dream shopping location. Stop by the store located at 1212 North Huron Road in Linwood, or shop online at franksgreatoutdoors.com to find everything you need to get your next outdoor adventure started.
Back here on Bay County TV, bottom of the fourth inning. Let's thank a few of our great sponsors.
All right, Jeff, the All Saints Booster Club helping out tonight. Frank's Great Outdoors, our good friends from Village Towing. And our real good friends from Renew Physical Therapy, the Klapish boys over at Renew, jumping on board during the basketball season. Can't thank those folks enough for helping out this year so we can bring you the best in Bay County high school sports.
There is a high lazy foul ball. And, you know, another feature that Renew has brought to Bay County TV is they do those monthly tutorials with their therapist to really give some great insight. Sean Sullivan was just on this last week.
Yeah,
and,
I watched him.
Really great information as one ball, two strike count goes on, and a lot of great things going on over at Renew Physical Therapy.
Corporate offices, downtown Bay City, Jeff, in the Mill End Lofts building. And good guys, Tony Klapish, the COO, Bob Klapish, CEO for Renew, and they're doing really good things here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
So Beeson with the first out. Looks like Richardson, the right fielder, will come up to bat now with nobody on and one down. There is a line drive to center field, and oh boy, that had a little carry on it. Look at Richardson on the move. He's looking like he's going to motor to third. He looks like he'll have an opportunity, had a chance to come in standing up. He goes down. The old right leg lip gets rid of a little fluid, and he's ready to stand up, hoping to be able to come home. Oh, the young people are expressing themselves.
The only thing missing there was the fire hydrant. You gotta love these young kids, man. They are just having a blast here tonight. That was a hard hit ball over to the center fielder's head.
Well, Pease thought that the wind was going to knock that down, and this thing is sky high and going to be gobbled up as the throw comes right back to third base, and Richardson drew the throw and got back in time.
Sawyer Eager with the high pop out, making it the first out, second out for the John Glenn Bobcats. But again, that's a tricky win. Sawyer did a nice job fighting it, made the catch, and out number 2.
Well, and again, you're fighting the stadium that changes everything as well, and that's something that the kids aren't used to, and that is something that you have to adapt to. But you know what? He stayed with it, fought through it, made the catch, and got him one step closer to heading back in for the top of the 5th inning offensively. 6-0 our score. The Bobcats with that big 5-run 3rd inning, as it's 1 ball and 1 strike right now.
Yeah, you're right, Jeff. Most of the high school stadiums are not in such a confined, enclosed spot. They're kind of more the wide open, and that's going to be a foul ball. That'll be strike number 2 on the Bobcat hitter, Brené. So it's something you got to get used to as a young high school player. But like we talked in the pregame, what a thrill for these kids to be able to play in a major league facility. And you look out at this field, Jeff, it is absolutely gorgeous.
Well, and I believe the last time we were here that the All Saints Cougars played, I think they had a young hitter named Brady Neitzel that was on that club that hit a pretty healthy shot to right field, I remember. I think a lot of teams get an opportunity every couple of years at least to come here and really have some fun. That ball is really tagged again.
Oh, nice catch.
Oh, he made it look routine. Bo Williams out there.
Bo knows.
He definitely stayed with that, and his closing speed was the difference in that catch. So we've played 4 innings here at Dow Diamond with the John Glenn Bobcats on top 6-0. Back for the top of the 5th in just a moment on Bay County TV.
Are you ready to gear up and stand out? Look no further than Sandlot, your local source for team uniforms, sports spirit wear, and more. Gear up with confidence. We've got your team covered from head to toe, ensuring you stand out on and off the field. And that's not all. Unleash your team spirit with custom spirit wear that roars success. Wait, it gets better. Introducing our free fundraising online stores. Effortlessly raise funds for your team while showing your pride. Customize your fundraising to reach your team goals. Get started online at sandlotsports301.com or at any one of our 3 convenient Great Lakes Bay locations. Sandlot, where quality, community, and apparel collide. Your team, our passion.
Back here on Bay County TV, top of the 5th inning, time for the Cougars to start their comeback. It's going to be a tall task. This pitcher from John Glenn is really in a groove of throwing the ball.
Yeah, Bernays had a nice game tonight for the Bobcats out on the mound. 6-0 lead here at the top of the 5th for him. Nice spot to be in. First pitch of the inning. Right back at him, off his glove and right into center field by number 1. And number 1 is...
He is one of the 58 subs that they just put in.
We'll find out who that young man is.
Well, and that is going to be Johnson. And Johnson was is part of the DH platoon. So he's got a great opportunity to start this inning off in style. As McKenzie gets that ball, and he's just playing a little catch with Bernay. No need to have to try and keep him any closer. Ooh, boy, that thing had some bite on it, didn't it?
Yeah, it came in, go curveball right at 68 miles an hour, right up by the letters. 1 ball, no strikes. McKenzie with a nice job digging it out of the dirt with the throw.
He just makes first. It look easy over there.
He's done this before.
He's been at first base for a few years for the Bobcats. As that one is outside, and 2 balls and no strikes right now.
Nice job by Chiklinski digging that out of the dirt.
And Rajeski looking to make something happen offensively. As again, another nice high. 2 balls and 1 strike. He's waiting for a pitch that he's going to be able to drive. And boy, the alleys are wide open as they're playing pretty much straight up right now. Has shaded maybe a couple of steps to left center.
And shallow.
As he gets that ball in between the outfielders, he might have himself a nice run. Long, lazy foul ball. That's not close to the Doan car.
It didn't hit the Kia?
Or the Page car. We parked way down the third base line.
You didn't want anything to do with those first 2 parking spots.
Oh, yeah, we got executive parking. Nick Page gets here first and says there's only 1 good spot left, so he took his half out of the middle, waited for us to pull up like kings right behind him, and we had the great 1-2 combination of parking here at Dow Diamond. So Nick Page doing it all for us.
That's why he makes the big bucks.
Well, and he's happy too. He's only got a 6-minute and 18-second ride home from this game today.
Andrew Zeski got hit by the pitch, Jeff. Nobody out for the Cougars, man, on first and second.
So Akins is up to bat right now, and he is looking and just getting back to first base. And Rajeski just did it. He was wandering off, and very nice play by Chiklinski to make it a close one at first.
Debo came from behind the runner down there, number 11, Andrzejewski, and nice throw down there by Chiklinski.
There's another errant pitch. Is great job on the catch, but I think Bernay just a little bit out of sorts with a couple of bunt opportunities. He's trying to get a little fancy place in the ball. And here's a great bunt and a nice job that time by McKenzie. Great job by the home plate umpire. First he signals fair ball, then he signals out. Proper technique and moving a couple of runners into scoring position with only 1 out. And it's imperative that the Cougars, if they're going to come back in this game, have an opportunity to get a couple of more big base hits.
Well, it was a nice bunt right there by Akins. 2nd and 3rd, 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Letters right up the gap, left center. That thing was tattooed. And Letters, Jeff, will go into second base for the stand-up double.
So that was the big one that they were looking for to get back on the board. And Boy, he really dialed into a great pitch and didn't try and do anything fancy with it. Hit a line drive.
Well, and you go back to the bunt by Akins, getting the runners over to second and third, Jeff. Now it's 6-3 or 6-2.
It's a little small ball before big boy ball.
Yeah, that was a great job. Fundamental baseball right there by Bay City All Saints and Akins.
As the swing and a miss.
It's Schuler.
It's Schuler, yep.
Yep. The opening starting pitcher for the Cougars, who moved over to the shortstop position when they made the pitching change. First one strike on Schuler. Just a little bit outside. Again, Chiklinski doing a nice job getting down there and getting that ball to hit the dirt first. 1 strike on Schuler.
As that ball's down in the dirt, Wetters with the steal at third. And in this situation, you better be 99.9% certain that you're going to be able to steal that base. And now he's going to put a little pressure on Chiklinski to make sure that anything that's in the dirt, he can smother.
Wetters had a nice jump. I think he had a walking jump on that one, Jeff.
As a 2-ball and 2-strike count now, as Wetters looking to come in, as Schuler trying to bring him around here in the top of the 5th. 2 runs for the Cougars, looking for more.
That's going to get back into the crowd.
And the fans all love that.
Oh, nice catch down in the first row off the bounce.
A little 2-hopper. As we see our participants for game 2 coming and taking a little look at things right now. Probably been down in the hitting cage for a few minutes. As that ball is hit to shortstop and not able to pick that ball up is McKenzie at first from Beeson at short. So Wetters, by getting the steal at third, ends up coming home, and they've cut that deficit in half now with 3 here in the top of the 5th.
And only 1 out for the Cougar. That looks like the, coming into the stadium, Jeff, looks like the Valley Lutheran Chargers.
Yes, it is Valley Lutheran. And Pease is up to bat right now as that throw goes back to first base. Cougars with a nice rally here in the top of the 5th. As Bernay doing a great job of trying to keep that base runner close at first. So the batter again is number 17, Pease. And he's patrolling center field and looking to see if he can motor around some base paths here in the top of the 5th inning. Pease takes a very aggressive swing at a low ball and another close play at first base.
Chiklinski's got a nice arm down there, Jeff, and McKenzie, the first baseman, has the right way to get it and slide it right across, and they almost got him that time.
Inside pitch, and like that pitch from Bray, even if it's not a strike, you move the feet, you change the eye level. We'll see what he comes up with on a 2-1 count with another throw to first base.
2 balls, 1 strike on number 17, Pease, center fielder for the Cougars. John Glenn up 6-3 here in the top of the 5th. Runners going, little hit and run going on. He's going to have to get back.
Well, he's not going to get back in time.
Nice
he
throw
thought
by
that
the
ball
left
was
fielder.
down, and
is that Hilborn out there in left field making that throw?
Yep.
Nice job by Garrett Hilborn on the force out at first base. He put it right on the dime.
Boy, made it easy for McKenzie, but a 3-run rally and the top of the 5th inning moves the Cougars back to within 6-3. Back for the bottom of the 5th in just a moment on BCTV. Village Towing and Auto Repair of Kaukaulin and Bay City is here to help you in your hour of need with fast and friendly service. With over 30 years of towing experience, we know how to get the job done quickly and safely. From big to small, we do it all. Give us a call at 989-684-9607 for all your towing needs. Back here for the bottom of the fifth inning, Naylor's first pitch sails high and deep to the right field side. Out of play, and a few people scampering for a souvenir ball.
They can't keep them here.
Can only borrow.
You can borrow them for a second, turn it into the dugout, as the PA announcer said.
Boy, Andrew Jeske with another nice pitch, and got to utilize that generous zone, and it is there. It's no balls and 2 strikes to Naylor here in the bottom of the fifth. Ooh, just a little bit high. That was a pitch that froze Naylor.
That was a very nice pitch, Jeff. Like you said, just a skosh high. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Naylor.
Ball down in the dirt as Andrew Jeske tried to get him to do a little fishing. He goes, nope, it's baseball season. I can't go fishing.
That season's coming up pretty quick.
Yes, indeed. Maybe trying to overthrow that one a bit. We got a 3-2 count. Give Naylor credit from an 0-2 count, bringing it back to full. Full count pitch on the outside, just missed.
Nice job by Naylor. Good patience at the plate. Took his time, got the walk. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth. It's the John Glenn Bobcats 6 and the Bay City All Saints 3 here from beautiful Dow Diamond. And number 4 for the John Glenn Bobcats is the catcher, Chiklinski. Trenton Chiklinski, number 4. It's had a nice game behind the plate today, Jeff.
He is a great receiver of a wonderful pitcher. As Andrew Jeske decides he's going to change the feet and the eye level of Chiklinski.
Got to keep him honest.
Absolutely. As controlled outside third, as Andrew Jeske goes inside with the first, just outside on the second. Let's see, can't go too much down the middle on that 2-0 count because Chiklinski is going to be ready to take a whack at something if it is where he likes it. He had no intent of going for that pitch, and I believe that he did an offer on it, and it's going to be 3 balls and no strikes. They just put it up on the board, and the stolen base for the Bobcats.
Nice job by Schuler on base of the All Saints, Jeff, backing up the throw from Weathers on the steal, because that would have went into right center field, and the runner for John Glenn may have gotten to third if they wouldn't have picked up that ball.
Yeah, because Pease was playing kind of deep, so it would have given him an opportunity. But a lot of it has to do with how quick, as a guy sliding into second, you can recognize that ball is passed, pick it up, and find your base coach to get an answer for where it's at. As a walk will allow 2 runners on with nobody out here to start the bottom of the 5th inning. And looks like we're going to have our pinch runner again.
Pinch runner for the Bobcats, Jeff, number 1. That is Gunnar Maisie for John Glenn. He's been their pitch runner consistently tonight for the Bobcats. We've got 2 on, nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. And at the plate for John Glenn, number 24, the second baseman, Braden Debo.
So Debo with an opportunity now with a couple of ducks on the pond and nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th.
Haven't heard that one in a long time.
Gotta love the duckies when you come up to bat. Debo with a lazy pop fly. It's a high one, and first out of the bottom of the 5th. As Debo had a pitch to hit and just got underneath it.
At the plate for the Bobcats, number 25. And that young man's name is Xavier Facundo.
Okay.
Just coming in for the Bobcats. First time in the game, pinch hitting.
And Facundo finds out how far outside that strike zone has consistently been. And
he probably had heard that many times in the dugout tonight.
He goes, I've heard it, now I've seen it. So no balls and one strike on Facundo. Andrzejewski steps off. Not a huge lead for either runner. Jeff Hart, boy, he is totally tuned in on the base runners as Facundo fouls the ball off. And he's done it for 39, 40 years down there, so very confident that he knows what he's doing. But I like to at least have one eyeball on the hitter, know where that ball is going to come screaming
and he's turned to the batter, so if he gets hit, he's going to get hit, and you know what?
In the dupa.
Yeah, in the dupa.
Oh, my goodness. What an absolute gem from Andrzejewski. Froze Facundo and just hit the inside corner with a perfect pitch for out number 2.
I saw that, the big 6-0 changeup curve for the Cougars. 2 outs.
As Andrzejewski doing a nice job of keeping the Cougars in this game. Well, they're hoping that the bats warm up some more to try and dent this 6-3 deficit here in the bottom of the 5th.
Andrzejewski didn't like that ball, so he threw it back in the letters. Got a new baseball. 1 ball, no strikes.
Always loved it as an umpire. When a pitcher didn't like a ball, I made certain I knew exactly where in my sack I had that ball. And I am going to not utilize that ball until I have to utilize it, and I want to see if he thinks that I'm throwing him the ball before I am and getting rid of it, and then throwing him the ball he didn't like the first time, and then all of a sudden he does like it. Oh boy, that I shouldn't give all the secrets away about players.
All your trade secrets, brother. There's going to be some people out there listening.
So that ball again on the outside third, and a little bit frustrated for Hilborn. Hey, young man, you know, this is your 4th at-bat in 5 innings. You should be used to the strike zone.
It's a little wider tonight here at Dow Diamond.
But extremely consistent, I love it.
Yep.
That's what you need at the high school level. You need to be swinging the bat. And there's a ball on the outside, trying to come home with a great job, and nobody covering third. So heads up, base running by the John Glenn Bobcats. They secure a run, and that runner goes all the way from first to third on that play. And a little miscommunication because that third baseman might have stayed home and had an opportunity to at least be able to make a play. But heads up, base running have got the Bobcats with an opportunity to have somebody else 90 feet away from home plate.
Good run by Naylor to score from third base. Jeff going in head first, making the score. The John Glenn Bobcats 7, basically the All Saints Cougars 3 here in the bottom of the 5th at Dow Diamond.
Well, and Naylor cannot even think about that for a split second. If you think about it for a split second, you can't go. He saw it and he took off, and a great job by Andrzejewski to put the fire out. But the Bobcats from John Glenn pick up another one after 5 innings of play. It's 7-3, John Glenn over All Saints. Back for the top of the 6th in a moment on Bay County TV.
As the voice of Michigan's student athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports should be played.
We are responsible for helping the MHSAA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
in which interscholastic athletes can thrive.
We believe that athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe that students in the stands should have fun,
but not take away the focus from the game.
We believe coaches should act like teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and support their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports.
And respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while keeping a high level of respect between all those involved in the games.
Enjoy the game.
Back here on Bay County TV, as the top of the 6th inning, it is time for Essex to see if he can continue this 3 runs from the previous inning and allow the Cougars back into this game. Boy, what a great change of speeds that time by Brene. As no balls and 2 strikes on Essex here to start the top of the 6th.
On deck for the Cougars is number 2, Bo Williams, sophomore for the Cougars, right fielder.
That one just a little behind the Essex as that ball got away from Brene.
Was it Bob Euchre that said just a bit inside?
Yes, indeed.
For the Milwaukee Brewers.
He was getting ready to back away from it. He would have backed right into it. As there is a great little soft liner that is gobbled up by number 24, Debo, out there.
In for at third base, Jeff, is number 25, Facundo. So he took the third baseman's Morrison's place at third base, number 25, Facundo.
As the windup and the pitch from Brene on the inside again, is most of the time today the pitchers have been really dialed in on the outside third of the plate, but you occasionally at least need to go inside to keep those hitters honest. As that ball skips away and nobody on base, so you just get a fresh one from the umpire.
So Yeager says, well, you know what, I'll pick that up, and then when I come up the bat, I'll hand it to the umpire.
Yeah. Here you go, sir. As Brene just getting a little bit out of his comfort zone here to start the top of the 6th inning with the 3-ball and no strike count. Guessing he's probably around 75 pitches, and on a 3-0 count throws a great pitch and swing and a miss that time by Williams.
Making the count 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out here for the Cougars. In the top of the 6th, they're down 7-3. Had a nice top of the 5th. They got 3 runs. It'd be nice if they could get a couple more here in the top of the 6th. Make this a little bit closer. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Brene, comes back though from that count of 3-0, and nice job by McKenzie over there of scooping that ball up and unassisted play to first base.
Ball's take a nice bounce here at Dow Diamond. When we were on the field earlier, we were looking around at the grass and stuff. It's mowed tight. It's really, really true. They've done a nice job with it. It's getting greener, and you got to take advantage of an infield like this.
Well, it's almost like turf.
It
it's
is.
So well manicured and so tightly weaved out on the field, as Eager with a swing and a miss at the first pitch. So it's so thick that you almost feel like you're on the turf the way it cushions, but getting that true hop is something that you don't get to see a lot on most high school fields. Eager has that pitch fouled off to the right side again, and that was
that young lady never left her seat and ended up right behind her in her seat.
Yep, she says that thing could have been a popcorn right into my popcorn bowl. Eager, though, with an 0-2 count right now, trying to stay alive here for the Cougars in the top of the 6th. And got a pitch on the outside, couldn't catch up with it, and a great job by Brene mowing down the Cougars here in the top of the 6th. We'll be back in a moment for the bottom of the 6th on Bay County TV. Founded in 2011, Renew Physical Therapy has quickly become the Great Lakes Bay region's fastest-growing patient-centered physical therapy and rehabilitation specialists. With 16 locations to serve you, our friendly, highly qualified staff of physical, occupational, and massage therapists take great pride in offering one-on-one treatments through customized plans to help you achieve the best possible outcome for your health. Our offices accept most major insurances and are well-versed in navigating the complexities of insurance policies, ensuring you receive the coverage and benefits you deserve. Visit our website at renewpt.com to request your appointment today. Back here on BCTV as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Leading things off will be number 3 for the Bobcats.
Colton Beeson, Jeff, is number 3 for the Bay City John Glenn Bobcats, up 7-3 here in the bottom of the 6th.
So Beeson with a nice soft fly ball to left field, gobbled up by Paul, and 1 up and 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th. So Andrew Jeski's really done a nice job since he came in.
Yeah.
He's really slowed down the Bobcat train here in this ball game and gave the Cougars an opportunity to inch their way back in it.
At the plate for John Glenn with 1 out, Eli Richardson. Eli is the right fielder for the Bobcats tonight.
That thing is going to roll foul, and your job is to touch it while it's foul so it doesn't have an opportunity to roll back fair. And we'll all come back and redo this. Andrew Jeski got off the mound very nicely.
He did.
Made sure he touched that ball while it was still in foul territory.
Weathers was in trail also, Jeff. So nice job by both those young men. Down 7-3 are the Bay City All Saints Cougars. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th for the Bobcats.
0-2 count. It's a little foul bloop. Unable to catch up with that is Akins. Look at Coach Hart. Great sportsmanship. Picks up the hat and hands it back to the young man. Great effort, young man.
Akins is on the all hairdo club right there. Did you see those locks?
They were flowing.
Ooh, man.
Making you and I jealous.
We haven't had that much hair since 1978. Together.
Grease is the word. Boy, there's a ball. Does it have eyes? Great job by Eager. Is he able to? Great job by a half step, and that was a great call. And really not agreed with it as the base runner. Umpire was spot on with that call.
Sawyer Eager with a really, really nice play right there. Jeff going to his right, took his time, got up, threw a dart right over to first base, and they got the runner in plenty of time.
The first thing you got to do as a second baseman is you got to get to the ball from the right angle, and once you get there, you got to pick it up and throw strongly to first, and that's where his ability as a shortstop came through with a strong throw from second to first.
Well, and Ballard did a nice job, too, with the stretch over at first base for Bay City All Saints. So nice play by those two young men.
Pitch outside. 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning here from Dow Diamond. Jeff Doan and Mike Guasdala, pleased to have you along today. Nick Page producing, directing, and filming. He's got the trifecta. He's outdoors.
He's on the elements tonight.
It's probably still in the low-mid 60s. A beautiful day for the first part of May outside.
Yeah, we'll take this all the time. We've had some interesting end of April, beginning of May weather, haven't we?
We have seen the full gambit of weather, indeed, but it looks like good weather is forthcoming ahead for us. And on the 3-1 count, just a little bit low. So that will be a base runner, McKenzie, for the John Glenn Bobcats.
Coming up, number 2, the starting pitcher, Jaden Brené. And they've got 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. And we are going to have a change. Coach Hart's at the dugout. We'll see what he's got up his sleeve. Thank a couple sponsors right now, Jeff. Once again, the All Saints Booster Club, Frank's Great Outdoors, our good friend Michelle Cooper and the gang over at Village Towing, and our other sponsor just coming on board this past winter, Renew Physical Therapy. And we talked earlier about it, Jeff, those little snippets, those little tutorials that we're putting on Bay County TV. All sorts of great information for the athlete, the has-been, the wannabe, everything. They talk about a lot of good stuff.
Well, and they've got some great physical therapists in their organization. which makes their organization very credible. There's a little delayed throw going over to first base. Is that a balk?
Yeah, he balked. He turned, didn't throw it, and then threw it, and they called that a balk.
And if you're even like that, even if you stumble, even throw a lollipop over there because they're diving back to first. If that thing's anywhere near the first baseman, they're not going to go. That pitch on the inside. As Brene has a 1-ball, no strike count with a runner in scoring position with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th.
Coach Hart down on third base in his usual stance, looking at the base runner, talking with him, letting him know where that shortstop is.
And he goes to almost the same spot. Nope, now he changes and just, there you go, Mr.
He's got one foot in the box.
Do not try and guess what I'm going to do or where I'm going to go.
Well, when you see him at Planet Fitness, you can talk to him about that. How's that sound?
I'm going to say he's consistently inconsistent where he stands down there. I would say the effect is pretty good, though.
Yeah, when you've been doing it for 40-plus years, you can do anything you want.
Well, and that's after a great playing career. So he, as a young man, really landed in a great position at John Glenn, and for 4 decades has been at the top of the helm, and that is just a thing of beauty as the Brene gets the walk. And that is going to bring up to bat number 12, Naylor, the center fielder.
I think they're going to have a change. Pinch runner number 33. And that young man's name is Tyson Chiklinski. So must be the little brother.
Probably the other half of the law firm.
Chiklinski.
Oh, yes. And, you know, it's cool for all these kids to get an opportunity to get into the game, get their name in the scorebook, and see if they can contribute here with 2 outs. And it's going to take a big hit.
It's Tyson and Trenton Chiklinski, Jeff.
All right, as Naylor will be up to bat here with 2 on and 2 out in the bottom of the 6th.
I have to also mention Jeff Hart, Bay County Sports Hall of Fame member.
Yes,
Jeff
indeed.
Hart. And you must have to have the name Jeff because Jeff Doan, President Award winner a couple years back.
They got caught in a weak moment when that happened. But you know what? It's a great honor to be part of that fraternity. And we got a little announcement coming up here on the 13th, do we not, for this year's inductees?
We do.
Over at the Wanigan Eatery.
I can't let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah, Bay County TV's even going to be
there.
Yeah,
Nick's going to be there, and I get to do my usual announcing of the 2024 inductees, teams, and President Award winner.
And, you know, people that get the lifetime membership get a voting membership.
Yep.
And so you get that ballot, and I turned it right back in the same day. I filled it out. I studied it for a little bit, and I'm going to be very curious to see how many of my 7 selections ended up coming to fruition here in this. But after almost 3.5 decades, to have this many quality people still recognized for their service and talents is unbelievable. Says a lot about this area.
Got another good class going into this year, Jeff. You're going to like this class and some good teams. And
I just love the MC.
Oh, well, you're the only one.
Well, no, you certainly do a fabulous job with letting all these people, you do the introduction and you really make the show flow nicely. They've got the
shot clock
that I starting to run right now, which really keeps people from talking too long, because otherwise it can be a long evening. But if you've never been to that Sports Hall of Fame banquet in November at the Doubletree, it's certainly something to behold.
Yeah, I want to say it's November 10th this year, Jeff, at the Doubletree, and we try to make it. It's definitely all about the teams, the President Award winner, and the inductees. It's their show. I'm just there to help out a little bit.
Well, you facilitate it, and Mike Debo talks about the 6 recipients from Bay County that are coming in from the high school scholarship winners.
Yep.
So that's a walk right there as Naylor's going to go to first base, and there's a whole lot of activity with 2 outs on the base path here in the bottom of the 6th.
Nice job by Nick Naylor getting the walk, Jeff. And coming up is number 4, if I'm not mistaken. That's Trenton Chiklinski.
Trenton is up, but who's the title sponsor for that Bay County Sports Hall of Fame?
Title sponsor for the Bay County Sports Hall of Fame is Renew Physical Therapy.
Isn't that a coincidence?
They're all over the place.
Well, they're doing a great job of giving back to a community that's been very good to them. There is a high pop fly, and that's going to be a foul pop fly and a nice catch
by Ballard.
So that will be the 3rd out of the inning. And coming to the top of the 7th, it's do or die time for the Cougars. Down 7-3. Back in a moment for the top of the 7th on BCTV.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2. Mark.
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Back here for the top of the 7th inning. Again, it's time for the Cougars to come up with a 4th spot at least to tie this game. Otherwise, the John Glenn Bobcats are going to be victorious in Game 1 against All Saints.
At the plate for the Cougars is number 1.
And that is Johnson. Boy,
Nice
starting
curve.
off with a bender like that, really throwing off Johnson as a hitter. You know, he's sitting there looking cheese, and he makes a half-hearted swing at a great off-speed pitch. And so he sees the second one, and he says, I'm going to deposit this one in left center
Nice job
field.
by Johnson. Kind of in on the fist, Jeff. Pulled his hands in a little bit and just threw it out there to left center. Nice job by Johnson. And if Bernay stays the way it is, he's going to have himself a complete game tonight.
Well, and I think doubling up on that pitch was the advantage to the hitter. Having seen it already, he recognized it and was able to get just enough metal on that ball to send it out into left center field. Long gone are the days when you had a good old wood bat single. Now these bats can run $400 or $500. It's crazy.
Well, you don't want to get them out in the cold either because they don't work as well in that cold weather. They're not. They break easier.
Well,
too.
and they're not warranted under a certain temp. So then it's up to you to try and convince them that it didn't happen in an adverse condition. As Andrzejewski has a little lazy foul ball down the right field line that'll fall harmlessly into the bullpen.
Right field there for the Bobcats goes over. Gets it, throws it back in, and that gentleman's
Richardson.
name, Richardson.
Well, unless they've had a last-second change.
I think that was Gunnar Maisie.
It might have been Maisie in there for Richardson. There's a lazy one, and they take the out at second, and McKenzie could not get that scoop at first. Ball goes into the dugout, and that'll be a free base for Andrzejewski. But how about a job by Debo to start that turn? I wasn't even certain he could get the lead runner at second with a great flip and then almost being able to turn the double play, but McKenzie could not come up with the short hop.
One out here in the top of the 7th for the Cougars. At bat number 43, that is Salinas for Bay City All Saints. His first time seeing some action tonight.
See if he can come up with a big knock. And got really tied up on an inside fastball and really couldn't get his hands in quick enough to put any bat on the ball.
Remember Salinas from the football and basketball teams, Jeff. Great success for the Cougars this year. A lot of familiar names, football and basketball for the Bobcats also. Like those 2-3 sport athletes.
Multi-sport athletes, and that ball right up the middle. And a little bobble that time by the shortstop. And Beeson couldn't get it back in time. And
thing hit the mound. The ball hit the mound and jumped up pretty quick. And because that went right up off the mound over the the shortstop Beeson. So that was an interesting bounce, but good news for the Cougars. First and third, 1 out here in the top of the 7th.
You got the top of your lineup back up to bat as Wetters, whose last time up hit one into left center with a stand-up double. So see if he can duplicate those efforts as Bernay tries to close this one out for the Bobcats. And a good whack at an off-speed pitch again. And that is a 64-mile changeup. And again, he's dealing 80, 81. So,
yeah.
I mean, he's 16, 17-mile-an-hour difference. And that's really hard to time up. Ball to the outside. Evens the count at 1-1. As Wetters trying to keep the Cougars alive here in the top of the 7th. Out of the set. Bernay.
Chiklinski with a nice job right there.
He smothered.
Saved a run.
And that would have put another runner in scoring position as well.
Yeah.
So great job by Chiklinski. Good hitters count, 2-1. And there's a gapper. And look at the left fielder out there doing a marvelous job, Hilborn. That thing looked like it was heading up the gap off the bat.
And the runner, Johnson, on third base, thought it was going up the gap. He was 3/4 all the way home. He had to go, he didn't tag, he had to go all the way back, but a nice job by Hilborn getting that ball in to Chiklinski and saving a run right there, Jeff.
Well, when that ball is hit to left, how deep it's hit, you might as well stand where you're at, because whether it's caught or not, you should have time to be able to tag. So that might be a learning moment when they look back at this game. And it's coming right back. Oh, almost a souvenir for Mr. Nick Page, but he watches that thing sail just over the left shoulder. And
we would have signed it. We could have put it on eBay, and we probably would have got $10-12 for it.
Plethora of cash. So we got a 1-strike count with 2 outs here in the 7th. That's a pitch that's been a strike all game long. No balls and 2 strikes. Time to put the bat on the ball here in the top of the 7th inning, where this one will be in the books. Bernay taking his time, comes to the set. Just a little bit low on the outside corner, evens the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
He put a little extra on that, Jeff. He got it down there at 78 miles an hour. He wanted that strikeout.
He was tickling 81 early, so he's down 2-3 miles an hour, and there is a ball that is going to be gobbled up by Beeson at short, and that's all there is.
There is not any more.
And our final score in our ball game, the John Glenn Bobcats come away with a 7-3 victory. We'll be back in a moment to put the wraps on this one on BCTV.
Good evening. Thank you so much for coming tonight. You may not know this or not, but we're here to honor tonight Coach Jeff Hart. Last week, Jeff Hart wrapped up his 900th win. Tonight was 901. I've had the pleasure to work with Jeff for a long time in Bangor Township Schools. And after coaching for 39 years, there's a lot of wins, a lot of losses, but I'm going to tell you what, there's a lot of athletes whose lives that he touched, and they've gone on to great things as well as these all will. So along with the wins, that's probably one of the most important things we're going to see. We really appreciate Coach. He's been a member of Bangor Township Schools, and it's been an honor to work with them. So thanks, Jeff. Thanks for everything you've done.
Great tribute to the 901st victory for Jeff Hart. So that makes a 23.12 from 07 win percentage per year. So what a great opportunity it is to honor a man that has hit a true coaching milestone.
Well, and think, Jeff, on how many kids he has had an influence on and touched their lives over 40 years. That's pretty impressive to stay in one place for 40 years. So we love Coach Hart, and we always like talking to him. He always is nice to us, gives us a couple minutes of his time before the game. So couldn't be happier for one of the nicer guys we've run into in our 30 years of doing sports here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
Class act, and what a great testament to the program at John Glenn, and a great ambassador he is for this game and this school. So
absolutely.
We'll be back with our post-game wrap-up in just a minute on Bay County TV. So your car is getting towed and you're not sure where to take it? Try Village Towing and Auto Repair. Our expert mechanics are here to help assist you with all your repair needs. We have over 30 years of experience with motor vehicles, so you know you're getting the best work that you can find. Stop by the shop at 2377 South Huron Road in Cuckolin, or give us a call at 989-684-9607. Welcome back to the Village Towing post-game wrap-up here on Bay County TV. Jeff Doan and Mike Wisdala along with you. Great tribute to Coach and a very well-deserved honor for win 901.
Boy, it was a special evening, Jeff, for Coach Jeff Hart. 901s, including tonight's win, Jeff. 23 a year for 40 years, 39 years, and just being around that long and touching a lot of lives, not only on the diamond, but in the classroom, and I'm really happy for Coach Hart and everything that he's accomplished.
What was a really close, tight game early, a 5-run third inning really changed the outcome of this game.
Yeah, it was tight, it was close. We talked about it was going to be a 2-1, 3-2 game, but the Bobcats put up 5 in the third and came away with a big win. Cougars cut it from 6-0 to 6-3. Just couldn't get over that hump, and the Bobcats come away 7-3 winners.
Well, and the Bobcats with this season, the thing that impressed me with that 5-run third, the second time around that they had seen the pitching, they made an adjustment in their hitting style and really were able to square up the ball.
One thing that we noticed was the umpire behind the plate was pretty consistent tonight, Jeff. Outside, he was calling them maybe a little outside than normal, but like we talked about, as a player, as a hitter, you have to adjust to that. You have to adjust to the umpire in baseball, like a referee in basketball. And I think John Glenn did a really nice job of that, and the Cougars did it later in the innings, like in the 4th and 5th innings.
I think Andrew Jeske came in and did a really nice job of shutting things down as the Bobcats had that big inning, and he was able to keep them in, but in the end, it was just a little too much Bobcat in the first game.
Well, and I think Brene did a really nice job pitching a complete game tonight, Jeff. He went from the low 80s to the middle 60s on his pitching speeds and stuff like that. So it was a nice job by both squads. And I think the Bobcats just took advantage of that big inning in the third inning.
Well, that about puts the wraps on a great game from Dow Diamond, Coach.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
Nothing
Thanks
better
for
than
having
having you
me.
at the side. And
glad to be back.
Nick Page, another great job producing, directing, and filming tonight. I'm Jeff Donan along with Mike Wisdala. Thanks for being along with us today. We'll look forward to talking with you soon.
See you next time.